Tinseltown troublemaker James Franco is finally ditching the raunchy Instagram pics and committing to a steady relationship, and all it took was getting absolutely canceled. Actor James Franco certainly had plenty of success in his career, but he's also been accused of some pretty dark behavior. In 2014, for example, messages between him and a then 17-year-old girl landed in the press. In their exchange, Franco hit on her and asked if he should get them a hotel room. He apologized for his actions later on Live with Kelly and Michael. Then in her 2018 memoir, This Will Only Hurt a Little, actor Busy Phillips said that James assaulted her by pushing her to the ground on the set of their show Freaks and Geeks. It happened after she was improvising a scene and hit him in the chest. But despite the ill behavior that Franco was accused of, it didn't seem to affect his career in a major way. That changed, however, when the Los Angeles Times interviewed female actors who said they were victims of sexual misconduct by Franco at his now-closed Studio 4 film school. Franco was pretty much canceled after the 2018 article was released, and his film career plummeted. Nearly 2 years after Sarah Tither Kaplan's story about James Franco was published in the Los Angeles Times, she and Tony Gall filed a class-action lawsuit against him and 2 others. In their suit, filed in the Los Angeles County Superior Court, both women said that Franco sexually exploited them on movie shoots and auditions. Both took his class at Studio 4 and claimed that he promised to put them in his films that oftentimes were never released. The suit read, per the New York Times, Franco and his co-defendants engaged in widespread, inappropriate, and sexually charged behavior towards female students by sexualizing their power as a teacher and an employer, by dangling the opportunity for roles in their projects. The behavior led to an environment of harassment and sexual exploitation both in and out of the class. Other women eventually joined the suit, and in June 2021, The Hollywood Reporter shared news that Franco settled for $2,235,000, an amount that was split among the plaintiffs. At the beginning of their suit, Franco's lawyer, Michael Plonsker, said the women filed it just for publicity, but that tune changed when Franco and his legal team had to agree to a statement as part of the settlement. The statement read, "While defendants continue to deny the allegations in the complaint, they acknowledge that plaintiffs have raised important issues, and all parties strongly believe that now is a critical time to focus on addressing the mistreatment of women in Hollywood." In 2018, when James Franco won a Golden Globe Award for Best Lead Actor in a comedy for The Disaster Artist, let's just say that actor Ali Sheedy didn't congratulate him. Her now deleted tweet read, "James Franco just won. Please never ask me why I left the film TV business." Sheedy worked with Franco in the 2014 off-Broadway play The Long Shrift, which he directed, but the Breakfast Club star wasn't the only person who disliked his Golden Globe win. Sarah Tither Kaplan tweeted about him sexually exploiting her, while a third actor, Violet Paley, accused Franco of doing something horrible to her when they sat in a car once. At first, the star denied the allegations on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert.
The things that I heard that were on Twitter are not accurate.
When the Los Angeles Times published the woman's account, his lawyer said that his client did nothing wrong. In December of 2021, however, Franco did admit to some wrongdoing on the Jess Cagle podcast.
Over the course of my teaching, I did sleep with students, and that was wrong.
Franco clarified by adding that this was not his intention behind creating the school. Franco then said at the time he didn't understand the power imbalance of a teacher being involved with a student, and that since it was consensual, he thought it was totally fine. James Franco and actor, writer, and director Seth Rogen have teamed up for some pretty memorable films like Pineapple Express, This Is the End, The Interview, as well as the TV show Freaks and Geeks. But in a 2021 interview with the Sunday Times, Rogen said that his working days with Franco were over due to the sexual misconduct claims against him. Rogen also brought up a 2018 Vulture interview where he said the opposite, wanting to work with Franco despite that career-damaging Los Angeles Times article. Rogen told the Sunday Times that his personal relationship with Franco has now shifted. He added, "I also look back to that interview in 2018 where I comment that I would keep working with James, and the truth is that I have not, and I do not plan to right now." One actor named Charlene Yee accused Rogen of enabling Franco's behavior. It was a claim that she made on Instagram just 1 month before his Sunday Times interview. Franco eventually talked about Rogen on the Jess Cagle podcast and backed his words, explaining, "He was my absolute closest work friend, collaborator. We just gelled. What he said is true. We aren't working together right now, and we don't have any plans to work together."
Of course, it was hurtful, in context, but I get it. He had to answer for me because I was silent.
One thing that James Franco has been doing since being canceled is working. In May of 2022, Deadline revealed that he signed on to star in Mace, a film where he'll play a corrupt police officer. Trevor Jackson of Grownish fame co-stars as another cop who abides by the law and does things by the book. Filming is said to start in New Jersey at some point in 2022, and Franco has been silent about Mace since it made headlines. Myriad Pictures is financially backing the project, and so far, a premiere date has yet to be announced. More than likely, many will probably look at Mace as Franco's comeback film. It'll be a test for Myriad Pictures as well as production company The Myers Media Group to see if people are willing to embrace a new film from the actor. As of 2022, Franco's talent agency, UTA, has remained with him through the sexual misconduct claims and lawsuit. Reportedly, he signed with them in 2016. When James Franco addressed the accusations against him on the Jess Cagle podcast, he also spoke of Isabel Pakzad, an actor and director who he's been dating since 2017. As of June 2022, the couple is still going strong. The Daily Mail published photos of them at that time hanging out at a beach in Mykonos, Greece. They first did a little sailing before dipping into the southern Aegean Sea and frolicking with each other. In his Cagle interview, Franco said for the first part of his relationship with Pakzad, it was fun for her because his film, The Disaster Artist, was coming out. But after his sexual misconduct scandal erupted, the California native said it was hard for her to deal with. He also talked about meeting Pakzad and courting her in a way that he considers old-fashioned, especially after some much-needed growth.
I had girlfriends. I could never be faithful to anybody, so I cheated on everyone before Isabel.
Unlike typical techniques of just trying to seduce someone for a good time, Franco wanted to do things right for a long-term relationship. He explained that his plan, get coffee, go to lunch, go on a hike, or even a dance class, worked with Pakzad, and they've been able to have a mature relationship through everything that's happened recently.
There are a lot of good things have come out of this last 4 years, and Isabel's probably the biggest.
There are some celebrities who remain on social media after they've been called out for horrible behavior, but James Franco is not one of them. For example, as of June 2022, his last tweet was in 2020, and he hasn't shared a Facebook post since 2016, 2 years before that Los Angeles Times article came out. So obviously, Franco began slowing down on social media for other reasons besides the scandal. In fact, he talked about quitting Instagram in 2017 while speaking to Variety. He shared, "It's very liberating. I just got rid of it. When I first got on, it just felt silly. I treated it like it was a joke. You get in that weird seductive space where it feels private, but it's also public, and you get hooked on the reaction. There was some photo I did. I wasn't naked. I'm sure Rihanna has posted a bunch more risque photos. It was just the attitude of the photo. It was sweaty, my hand was in my boxers, it just looked gross." That particular photo was brought up in some of the articles that were written about Franco after the sexual misconduct claims surfaced. It's safe to say that if the ostracized actor was still on social media, he'd be lambasted for it, since some feel like he hasn't taken full accountability for his actions. James Franco made a cameo in the much-talked-about defamation case between Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. Well, not Franco himself, but his image, since he was seen in footage with Heard riding in an elevator. Depp's attorney, Camille Vasquez, showed the clip during the trial because it was said that Depp accused his ex-wife of having a long-time affair with Franco. It was an accusation that Heard denied, stating they're only close friends and former neighbors. She also co-starred in the films Pineapple Express and The Adderall Diaries with Franco. In one part of the elevator footage, Heard and Franco can be seen resting their heads on each other while heading to Heard and Depp's penthouse. Plus, the footage is dated May 22, 2016 at 10:51 p.m., and Heard filed for divorce from Depp one day after. All along, they both accused each other of domestic abuse but denied it. Depp was also out of town during Franco's visit. Vasquez asked Heard about Franco while she was on the stand.
You changed the locks to the penthouses on May 22nd, 2016.
I attempted to.
Vasquez shot back, asking, "That's why you felt comfortable having James Franco over the evening of May 22nd, 2016, Ms. Heard?" According to BuzzFeed, Franco was supposed to testify for Heard, but that didn't happen. The actor hasn't commented on the trial as of June 2022 and said nothing about his name coming up. If you or anyone you know has been a victim of sexual assault, help is available. Visit the Rape, Abuse, and Incest National Network website or contact RAIN's National Helpline at 1-800-656-HOPE-4673.